Alrighty, guys, gals, non-binary pals, very excited about today's video. Before we get into it, I would love to say if you would love to join these lovely people here on the side of the screen, they are part of my live stream. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm sure you know, but I would love to have more of you there. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything. If you're enjoying the video, I would love a thumbs up. And also, more importantly, the new shirt is coming out this Wednesday. I'm very, very excited about it. Be kind. Hopefully I can use some of this energy into what we're talking about today, because I know that I do get frustrated sometimes when I'm making these videos, and I'm trying to work on being more kind. So if you want to get it, it's available. If you're watching this after Wednesday, it'll already be available. Sizes all the way up to a 5XL. Worldwide shipping, so wherever you live, you can grab one. All right? So today we are going to be talking about one of our favorite Foopa Troopas on the internet, Ethan Klein. So this was brought to my attention by quite a few of you. Apparently, someone made a post in their subreddit talking about losing weight, and a lot of people said they brought up a lot of the things that I seem to talk about in my videos, and they were just curious as to what I would have to say. So we have the Reddit post, and also Ethan actually brought it up on his podcast, which I had clipped, so I can go over that as well. So here is the original Reddit post. We're going to go over it. So it's by user Dick Grayson 123. I wonder how many of you guys know what that's a reference to, but here we go. We're just going to read it off. I am a 20-year-old male, 6'1", 194 pounds, looking to get down to 180. Started at 265 in March. I'm not here to brag or show off my weight loss. There are other subs for that. There is. If you guys haven't checked out Lose It on Reddit, highly recommend. It's awesome. Okay. I have been watching Ethan for a few years now and have seen him go through many weight loss attempts and BS diets, and unfortunately never succeeding. He is always mentioning his weight, and it's a relatively common topic on the podcast. I agree. I feel very similar to what this dude feels, right? But I've had the weight off for so long, and I cannot tell you how many times I've wished I could somehow could reach out to him. I don't know if he's ever seen one of my videos. I don't know if he knows who I am or has any idea, but I know I've been critical, but I really think that I could help him, you know? And the information here is very similar to what I would give him. Maybe not exactly, we'll go over that, but I know exactly how he feels. So if this isn't removed, I hope to give Ethan the advice he needs to lose weight. It's not that complicated. Agreed. Calorie deficit, calories in, calories out, CICO, that's what that stands for. This changed my life. Agreed. I was always the fat kid, and I cannot count how many times I tried to lose weight but failed. Calorie deficit is the key. I had never done it before, and I wish I had known about it when I was in high school. Again, I agree. For so many years, I was the person who thought, I used to joke around it, I don't have a metabolism, or I can't lose weight, something's wrong with me. I thought the reason I was gaining weight was something that was completely out of my control, and had nothing to do with what I was actually doing. Looking back, obviously I know that it's not the case. Okay. The concept of a calorie deficit is to consume fewer calories than you burn in a day. Pretty simple. You burn calories by simply being alive. This is important. A lot of people don't know that, right? I like to call it your coma calories, or your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, just by existing, right? So if you were to be in a coma, or you were to just be laying in bed all day, not doing a single thing, your body is going to be burning calories. You do not only burn calories when you are working out. You are always burning calories, okay? This is called total daily energy expenditure. So kind of true, not exactly true. So your TDEE, or your total daily energy expenditure, that is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, or your coma calories, plus how much you are active as well as a couple other factors. But they're slightly different, okay? A simple name for it is maintenance calories, which is how many calories you need to eat in a day to maintain your current body weight. I'm assuming Ethan is 5'10", 220 pounds, and 36 years old. I put those stats into a maintenance calorie calculator, like caloriecalculator.net, which, well, I like tdecalculator.net, but I'm assuming they're all very similar. Personally, this is not something I would do, like tracking someone's thing for them. That's a little weird. Like, I just like to give people the resource and they can do it themselves. But, you know, I understand. The dude's 20 years old, probably excited, wants to help. I get that. Based on his stats, Ethan would have to eat 2,321 calories a day to stay at 220 pounds. If he ate 1,821 calories a day, 500 calorie deficit, which is about what I'd recommend, he would lose 1 pound per week. To lose 1 pound, you must burn 3,500 calories. So 500 times 7 equals 3,500. If Ethan ate 1,300 calories a day, not recommended, agreed, men should eat a minimum of 1,500 calories a day. He would lose 2 pounds per week because he's at 1,000 calorie deficit per day, right? If you wanted to do 1,000 calorie deficit, you should eat 1,500 calories a day and burn 200 to 300 calories a day through exercise. Again, I don't recommend doing that. It's probably too fast, right? I have been eating 1,500 to 1,700 calories a day for 5 months, and I'm quite active, and I can afford, so I can afford to be in a 1,000 calorie deficit without eating less. MyFitnessPal. This is a non-option. You need to download MyFitnessPal to track your calories. It's so easy to overeat and undereat. If you are not dedicated enough to track your calories, you won't be dedicated enough to lose weight. I don't necessarily agree with this completely, but I think if you are going to go this route of tracking everything and trying to figure out those numbers, then tracking to a certain extent is going to be kind of necessary. I think you can lose weight. For Ethan, it would be a little bit more difficult because, so with Ethan, while I know he jokes around a lot about being super fat, super overweight, in reality, compared to a lot of myself when I was losing weight and a lot of us, right, he is not that overweight. I know that sounds kind of silly, but when you are, like I was, close to 400 pounds, I didn't start tracking right when I started losing weight. I just started making better decisions. But again, because Ethan is not, you know, super obese, whatever word you want to use, he has to be a little bit more, like, he has to be a little bit more in tune with everything instead of just being like, oh, I just need to cut a couple things out. It's a little bit harder there. Okay. Eating. I have seen Ethan try these BS Nutrisystem diets. You can eat anything you want in a caloric deficit as long as the total calories for the day remain below your maintenance calories. Yep. Want pizza for breakfast, pasta for lunch, and hamburgers for dinner? It'll F up your innards and is extremely unhealthy, but you can have all of those as long as you stay below your maintenance calories for the day. You will lose weight. Whether you eat healthy or not, still don't recommend eating like that, though. Yep, I agree. I mean, he kind of said it himself. I definitely don't recommend that, and if you ate those foods, you would have to eat a very small portion of that to actually lose weight on it, and you'd probably be pretty hungry for the rest of the day, but you technically could, right? You technically, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you probably should. All right. I have been eating high protein, high volume, low calorie foods to keep me satiated throughout the day. Yes, I recommend Ethan does the same. If you are hungry all day, you will relapse. Agreed. Stop snacking, stop drinking your calories, drink a lot of water. If you are feeling hungry, drink water. It can satiate you. Same with black coffee and Diet Coke / Pepsi. No calories, but caffeine and carbonation satiates you. Again, these are all things that I agree with. I know a lot of people, when people say stop snacking, people can kind of get frustrated with that. I don't think there's anything wrong, especially if you are someone that struggles with constantly snacking. Like if you guys watch the podcast, which I do every once in a while, there's always food, right? Ethan's always snacking on stuff. So like cutting that stuff out, and you don't have to cut it out forever, but just be able to cut it out just so you can like figure out that you can cut it out. Because I think a lot of people, when they're used to snacking, you feel like you have to. Like you don't, like you have to snack. Once you realize, oh, maybe I don't have to do this, then when you maybe start to add it in after a while, then it's like, oh, okay. Right? Okay. Exercise. Luckily for men and taller men, exercise is not required to lose weight. I mean, I would argue that it's not required for anybody, but I think exercise is incredibly important for overall health, and I am an advocate for it. Obviously, I love exercising. But I understand where he's coming from. Like, if you're a large dude and a tall dude, you have a lot more calories to play with than a petite woman, right? Like, 100%. That's just a fact. It's a sad fact, but it's just a fact. Because our maintenance calories are so high. Although it will speed up the process, as I said, Ethan can eat 1,800 calories a day to lose 1 pound a week. And if he does, and he does not need to exercise. To lose 2 pounds a week, he would need to exercise to push that 1,000 calorie deficit. You can't outrun a bad diet. To burn 200 calories, it is easier to simply not eat that bag of chips in the first place than to run on the treadmill for 30 minutes. If you do exercise, don't eat back the calories you lost. Yeah, I agree with that. Acid reflux. I don't know. This is kind of random, but whatever. My acid reflux is almost gone. I need to take Tums every day. 70 pounds ago. That's awesome. It's not even a thought anymore. I most certainly don't have it on the same level as Ethan, but it will help significantly. I was having chest... Oh, that's why he brought it up, because apparently Ethan struggles with it a lot. I didn't know that. I was having chest pains every day, went to a cardiologist, and got multiple blood tests and ECGs. ECGs? 70 pounds later, I am cured. That extra weight messes with your body, and it is unbelievable. That's really cool. TLDR, Ethan's maintenance calories are 2,300. This stands for too long, didn't read, for those that maybe don't know. Ethan's maintenance calories are 2,300 calories a day. Eat 1,800 calories a day, 500 deficit to lose 1 pound a week. No exercise needed. Research and educate yourself on calories in, calories out. It's a game changer. And then he posts his progress pictures, which we'll check out. So this is him right here. He's a freaking good-looking dude. So congratulations to this dude. That's awesome. I think he shared some really, really good information. All right. So Ethan was told about this, and he actually responded is maybe not the correct word, but he actually did see it. And so we're going to go over that video now as well.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Do you want me to read this comment?
What was the name of the notebook, Zach?
Handy dandy notebook.
Oh, Handy Dandy. Yeah. Go ahead, Hila.
Ethan, how is your weight loss journey going? Have you considered going on a calorie deficit diet? I saw a very in-depth Reddit post in the...
It's funny hearing that because, like, obviously the person that asked this question, they just saw the post, and so it's just funny calling it a calorie deficit diet because it's just being in a caloric deficit. It's not really a calorie deficit diet. It's just eating in a caloric deficit. That's how you lose weight, no matter what diet it is. If it's keto, if it's high fat, if it's low carb, if it's Atkins, if it's intermittent fasting, if it's vegan, if it's anything, I know that people are, those aren't diets. Anything that you are losing weight in is technically a calorie deficit diet because you're in a caloric deficit, right? Okay.
subreddit that a user created, laying out some super helpful advice for you. He lost 70 pounds.
Okay. I've already seen this video, and I honestly feel bad for Ethan because during this whole part, it just seems like he's just defeated. And I know how that feels. I know how that feels. And I'm sure a lot of you do. And I know he jokes around a lot about it, but like, it's also, these shirts are freaking cool. Like Teddy Fresh makes some cool stuff. I love this shirt. This shirt's freaking cool. But like, I get it. I know what it's like. And so I honestly, the first time I watched this, I was like, dang, dude, I kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
They donated $50.
Thank you so much. I'm going to use that money to bolster, or I would say undo my deficit. No, I'm kidding. Good. I mean, it's only been 3 days,
But you actually did start.
Yeah, that post kind of...
So this is what we're seeing here. So that post actually did encourage Ethan, which I think is really cool.
I downloaded my fitness app. You guys are going to laugh at me because yesterday I had... Let's see. You guys are gonna make fun of me. Everyone's gonna say I'm fucked up now. But yeah, yesterday I had 1,240 calories.
So
people can be like, Ethan, you can't
So obviously that's really low. Okay. So 1,200 calories basically.
lose weight that way. It's not healthy. I was like, yeah, I had a headache and I was starving, but that's the way it is. No, but that's not true because the day before I had 2,400 calories, which is about where my equilibrium is.
So that's like his maintenance calories.
So that was a bad day.
How much? Which one?
I think 2,300 is maintaining.
So, okay. So hearing this is why when I don't like coach anybody, but like if anyone asks for my advice, what I usually say is like, even if you like to start tracking, that is a skill, right? And so what I tell people is practice the skill. So even if you're not trying to be in a deficit, start tracking, because one, it'll teach you how to track, because it, again, is a skill to learn and figure it all out. It takes time. But then it will show you, oh, I'm eating way more than I thought I was. Like you might think, I'm only eating 2,500 calories. I don't understand how I'm gaining weight, right? But if you track, you'll realize, oh, I'm eating way more than that. I thought I was eating a lot less, right? Now, another thing I want to bring up when it comes to tracking, the people that have issues with it, is they say like it becomes its own sort of eating disorder, right? And I understand where people are coming from with that, and it definitely can become a problem for people. I struggled with, I didn't really struggle with it, but I saw myself maybe getting to a point where I would struggle with it, so that's why I stopped. But I always say, tracking is a skill that you learn that eventually you need to stop doing, right? The goal should be to no longer track. But when you are just starting, I don't think there's anything wrong with tracking. I think that it's a great way to learn a lot about food and a lot about nutrition and learn how many calories are in certain things. Okay, sorry. I'll stop.
Way.
Got it.
So the day before I had 2,400. The day before that I had 1,800, which is a deficit. So I've had, one decent deficit, one.
So hearing that, the thing that I say to people is like, you don't and this is just general advice, but you don't necessarily have to eat the same amount of food every day, right? So if you train really hard, whatever, and you end up eating a little bit more food one day, but then you notice that another day you're not super hungry and you eat a little bit less. Like I like to focus on the weekly amount of calories, right? So say, I don't know what off the top of my head. So say 15,000 weekly calories is your that's like your weekly calories. So a lot of people this is like kind of carb cycling. I'm sure you've heard that, but like a lot of people, they like to maybe on the weekends, you'll allow yourself to have a little bit more. And then on maybe you have a rest day in the middle of the week, so you lower your calories on that day a little bit. And then for some of the days you have, a little bit lower. Like there's nothing wrong with doing that. You don't have to eat the same exact amount of calories every day. If you just think of it as a weekly amount of calories and you kind of plug and play and figure out what works for you, then you have a little bit more leeway and you have a little bit more breathing room so you can make those, I don't know, game time decisions, right? It's Saturday. You're like, what? I'm going to have a little bit more today. And you're able to do that because you just kind of switch things up, right?
Equilibrium day and one very strong deficit day. Mm-hmm. And today, actually, we had an egg sandwich. Let me add that. What did we say, 400 calories?
I thought it was cool that
The music is from them, by the way.
post actually did push you to do it. That's part of why I wanted to read it, so that the guy knows.
I'm in. Yeah, the guy actually inspired me, I have to say. Well, maybe pull up the post. Give it to me. Just to show you guys. But yeah, and
you want to look for it?
He said he was doing something similar where he was on like 1,500 to 1,800 calories a day. And at that, you can lose like 2 pounds a week. And I feel like I just need to see some results. I know it's not like people are like, it's just...
So this is something that you hear a lot, right? Is like people, when you first start losing weight, especially if you're like, again, Ethan is not that large. I know he jokes around a lot, but like when you're talking about someone that's 400 pounds, like you can see, you can lose an insane amount of weight very quickly. And it's not even considered like really that unhealthy, because when you have that much weight to lose, like you just do lose weight really fast. It just happens like that, right? So that's why I honestly say all the time when people are like, oh, you lost so much weight. I only lost 30 pounds. Like, it's crazy what you did. I'm always like, what you did is still incredibly hard, right? So he says later he would love to lose 50 pounds. That's hard because you don't get that first 50 pounds loss that was really easy, because you didn't have to make that many changes. You just stopped drinking liquid calories and then bam, you lost a bunch of weight, which is kind of what happened to me, right? So I understand that if you're only losing 50, 30 pounds, that's hard because you have to be very aware of the changes that you're making. If that makes sense.
Well, go run, you fat fuck. Why don't you just go run, you fat fuck? Why don't you just walk around?
Well, the problem is that if you do it unrealistically, you won't actually be able to maintain.
Listen, people say, just stop eating. And then when you stop eating, they go, that's not the healthy way to do it. Why don't you just run?
So this is exactly 100%. This is so many people have dealt with this. This is why I always talk about online. Like, it's awesome because there's so much information, but there's too much information. So it's like you end up getting paralysis by analysis. So you are looking at, like, there's this camp that says this is the best way to lose weight, and there's this way, this is the best way, this is the best way. Oh, if you lose weight this way, it's really unhealthy. And like I'm fully aware. I probably add to that. Like, I think that I know what I'm talking about, and I try and share actual advice that I do think can help. But I can completely understand someone seeing my videos and being like, well, I thought that losing weight this way was the best way to do it, and now this guy's saying that it's not, and he's lost a lot of weight. I get it. I understand. Like, but that's not going to stop me from sharing what I think is the correct advice for most people, right? Not everything's for everybody, but... You know, I get it. It's frustrating, but this, in my mind, this is really good advice that he was given. I really do believe that.
It's like, I can't lose weight on my own terms. Lose weight, you fat fuck. But on my terms.
I think this is it.
It's hard, man. It's hard being someone that is trying to lose weight online. Like, it's really hard. There is such an added level of pressure that, like, if you're not someone that's like really large, but like has a big following online, there is an extra added level of pressure that it's truly difficult. Like, it really is. And so I feel like that's why I said when I first started watching this, I honestly felt bad because he wants to. He wants to, right? Obviously he does. Why would he continue to bring this up? It's freaking hard. Like, that's why I get so frustrated when people are like, just do this, just do that. It's hard. It's hard.
I think I found, you got it? Okay.
Here, to this Hooper Trooper that lost 70 pounds in 5 months. That's what the fuck is up, bro. Because if I could lose 50 pounds, I'd be right there where I want to be. Here, let's check his progress. From 265 to 194.
That's crazy.
That's a glow up, bro.
Nice.
Glow the fuck up, dude. Damn, my boy. It's hard to believe that's the same guy. I mean, I see it. That's the same guy, but he looks great. Good for you, dude. It's a lot of progress in 5 months, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, I downloaded the calorie thing, and you know, that's what I'm doing. If that's all right with everybody.
Oh man, I just feel bad. I don't even like.
I've got thoughts.
They say you should do progress photos.
Nah, I'm scared. I look so fat.
It'll feel really good once you lose it. You'll be
No
able to
progress
see
photos.
Okay.
Well, you can take them, but not share unless you want to.
No, I want to forget that this ever happened.
Well,
So I totally understand that feeling. I personally wish that I had progress photos, but like I get where he's coming from because I had tried to lose weight so many times that it was almost scary taking those before pictures because it was like if I failed, I would have these before pictures that led to no after, which is never very fun, you know? And so I get it, man.
the funny thing is that we kind of have it just by being on camera all the time.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Someone will make a compilation.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is really a kind of an.
So that's the clip right there. So again, I know that in the past I've been more critical because I've felt like some of the information he's been given has been garbage. Like I haven't been critical. I mean, I'm sure I've been critical of Ethan, but for the most part, I've been critical of the information that he was given that he tried to follow that I've just felt like wasn't good information, you know? And so this information I do believe is good information. Am I saying that this is going to be a overnight success? No, it's going to take a lot of work. I believe that he can do this. I believe that anybody can do this, but I also understand that there is a lot more pressure on him than there would be most other people. 100%, it's going to be more difficult. And so again, I'm not I'm not trying to like force myself onto onto the podcast or anything like that, but like I would love to have a conversation. I would love to come on the podcast and have a chat, you know? I would love to share the information I have and, you know, but those are my thoughts. I really hope that it works out truly and genuinely. I hope that you're able to get, you know, this monkey off of your back. I hope that you're able to get through this because I really do think it'll help a lot of things. So Ethan, keep up the good work. I'm proud of you.